As long as the Irvan family bleeds, I don't care what it costs.
Hello, and welcome back to the Lost Legends of Scadrial, Mistborn Adventure Game Podcast. I'm your host, Narrator-Trevor. You can find me online at 5th of Daybreak, and with me I have the well-roasted Dusters.
Hello, I am Lena. I play Beladora Wilde.
I'm Zach, and I play Finnigan Bomon.
Hi, I'm John. I go by Clovermite Online, and I play Clydus Logan.
Let's jump back in. So, when we last left, we were about to get started on the train heist, and I don't want to go back on that, but I do want to throw one fun stipulation in that I thought of since the last time we recorded, in that everybody in the crew is going to have to perform in the circus at some time or other in order to cement their alibi. So, since you all will be dressed up as clowns, I'm going to say that everybody will be in the general clown melee that will happen in the middle of the show. And then everybody will have to figure out some sort of circus-like act to either do themselves or perform in during the rest of the show.
I have got an idea.
Okay?
Clydus and Finnigan can both put on fake mustaches and be like the strongman.
Yeah, you can definitely do a strongman act for sure.
I was thinking Clydus would go with his cowboy roots and try and wrangle something.
Okay. You can definitely do that as well. I was thinking something similar for Clydus. Bella, do you have any ideas what you might like to do?
Bella hears that she has to participate in the circus and she leaves.
She straight doesn't go.
She just leaves. She'd probably, I don't know, like her shtick would probably more be like riding the audience to make them enjoy the show more. But yeah, she's not like a performance type of gal.
She riots their sense of wonder. She's the ringleader.
She's not a performer. Put her in charge of everything. Okay. You could probably
She could be what Finnegan lifts as part of his strongman act. She just sits there and looks pretty.
Yeah, you both could definitely do a performance together like that.
Yeah, I think something like that she'd be down for.
Yeah, that works.
All right, listeners. Once again, you will have to go back in time to take a look at the post that is getting posted in the fan Discord. Come join our Discord. It will be posted on June 28th is when you're going to be looking at it. But this is the diagram that I have prepared for you guys of the trains. The train on the bottom is the one with the circus that's going to be on it. So you can see got it set up so there's two sets of bleachers. Two types of bleachers, one with a little pathway between it towards where your prep train is, where like the rest of the performers and everybody's kind of staging. If you want to have another train car beyond that, that's fine as well. But this is the basic idea that I had for the how the layout of this would look with the audience that the Ringling Circus has managed to put together to ride on this train to watch.
And here I was looking for it in Discord. I'm like, you didn't post it anywhere, man. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, come on. I have the luxury of posting it later. You can see it live. But if you insist, I will post it immediately. Alloy error.
I love that our circus train is red.
That was a conscious choice. That was a conscious choice, definitely.
Love it. Is the car in front the train engine, or is that just a car?
It's the car where it's the staging car. So there's going to be
okay.
equipment moving in and out of there, performers moving in and out, coming out to do their performances. And then there can be even a couple more cars depending on how much space that we want to imagine that the circus needs, or if you guys want your own car to be even one more removed from that to do your action trying to board the other train.
Yeah, I was thinking we would have it in the back.
I mean, that works
safe-
too. It could be that the trains, it doesn't matter to me which direction the train's going.
Yeah. 'Cause I'm thinking the safe is probably in the back or something. So that's where we would have our people doing the swap out stuff.
The one thing I will say is it has to be on either side. It's not, you can't say that you're going to have all of your stuff in there because it's got to be accessible from the one that they're coming in and out of.
I don't understand what you meant.
So it can't be that there's a staging card here and a staging card here as well on either side.
I see.
So we could have it so that way the train is moving from right to left. Where is my drawing tool? That way you guys are in the very back, and then whether or not you want another train car added to the right side. Does that make sense?
I think so. I'm thinking maybe then if we can have another coach, maybe we'll have our stealing coach in the back, the prep coach in the front, with the idea that we would have performers exit sometimes to the back. Does that make sense?
So, well, that's what I'm saying, is they have to be connected. The train, this car that has the staging equipment and the car that you're doing your heist from have to be one solid connection. So that way you can make it in between.
Gotcha.
When you need to.
Okay, then my vote is to have them in the back. I like the idea of having an extra car so that we can keep the people in the know, and the performers who are just patsies think it's just a circus. Or at least give them more plausible deniability, if that makes sense. Because I guess we had to get the circus people in on it anyway.
Ringling's, he's kind of in on it to a degree with that idea that he's got plausible deniability. None of his people are in it. He can say that he knows nothing about it and that his employers, as part of their stipulation, said they wanted to be in on the act. He's covered. He knows that there's something's up, but he knows enough to not ask questions.
He succeeded where Witten's failed.
Basically. It's because he got to do it all off screen.
This is actually better than I thought we were doing. I literally thought we were just going to be doing a performance for the train next to us. But you've literally rigged it up so that there are bleachers on the top of these trains.
Yeah, I'm imagining that, these trains don't have walls, the red ones. They're just the bare wood, and then they've, drilled in these bleachers, because that was part of they brought an audience, and this is what they want to do. They don't want to just perform for no reason.
It's the ultimate traveling circus where the audience travels with them.
Yeah, no, I love it. It's beautiful. I'm imagining there'd at least be some safety railing, waist high around the edges, particularly to prevent little children.
There would be on the two audience trains, but there is not in the performer train.
I love this idea even more now. We're literally not just a circus, train. We're a circus on a train.
Samuel L. Jackson is shaking in his boots.
Right. Oh, we should throw snakes in there.
So for all intents and purposes, these are not necessarily in that direction. This will kind of shift back and forth, which is why we're actually using visuals. Sorry about that, fans, but we do need to do visuals sometimes for our players. If you want, I can try and fit that extra boxcar in, or we can just kind of use what we've got going.
Yeah, say we use what we've got
I'll
going
just,
and
like-
just say that, there's another train on the back. Or another car.
Yeah, I might be able to do it pretty quickly. But yeah, so I have no problems with you guys having another car, having it behind that. I think that makes a lot of sense. I don't know, unless you guys have anything else to say about it.
I want to imagine that
we
for
can-
like the trapeze acts, instead of even securing the posts down, they just have lurchers holding these poles in place while people are like flying about on them.
Yeah. I've got some fun ideas for the actual show, that's for sure. So definitely we can, anytime anybody wants to jump in while we're describing circus stuff, please. Let's have fun with the Alamantic Circus on a train.
Ooh, so excited.
And on that note, are there any other acts that like you guys would want to see being done here, besides the ones that you're going to be in, or do you want me to kind of handle all of that end? Because I've got ideas, but I don't want to cut anybody off who might be interested.
I'd want to do animals, but I don't know that we have much room. Like, there's certainly not room for an elephant, I don't think.
Yeah, elephant and giraffe, definitely not something that I think this meant for this circus.
We could do a lion, though.
What about someone being fired from a cannon?
We can absolutely
and
do
then the lurchers pull him back in. I love it.
That would actually be really good for that to go off while we're doing the heist, because it's so loud.
Okay, so a general itinerary that I had for the show is that towards the beginning, there would be some trapeze stuff, and so I would let somebody do that in the beginning if they wanted to participate. And it would be towards the middle of the show when the general clown melee happened. And then, I was just going to fill basically everything in between, depending on when people wanted to go. Finn and Bella, I would assume that you two would want to go fairly early, so that way Finn can start working on opening the car doors.
Mm-hmm.
So you two can have yours fairly early on. Clydus, where do you think you'd want yours?
I don't know. I think Clydus would want his to go early, so that way he can free himself up to be a little flexible towards the end if things start to go south.
Okay, so we could have it set up to where the show starts. Ringling introduces the circus. Starts off with Bella and Finn performing in some of the feats of strength. And you can tell, or let's go ahead and, if you guys don't mind, do a quick role play of this scene where you're talking to Ringling about you two being in this feat of strength. So you've been talking to him about the need to be part of, or the need to be part of the circus in order to have an alibi for it. And when he offers the feat of strength, or you offer the feat of strength, he tells you, well, I've got something kind of unusual that I have planned since we're on a train, and if you're strong enough to lift this young lady, and she's willing to go through a little bit of a kerfluffle, then I think I got something that's right up your alley.
Well, Bella, are you ready for a bit of a kerfluffle?
What kind of kerfuffle are we talking about?
Give me a charm roll, Bella. Add +1 for being a skillful manipulator.
Oh my god, what are my stats? Hello?
Ooh.
Okay, that was 5s and 2 nudges.
Well, I don't want you to sound alarmed about this at all, but it's really perfectly safe. What we're going to do is we're going to put an iron vest on you underneath your clothes, and then he's going to throw you off the train, and our Alamancers are going to pull you back on.
Darling, the fact that you started that off with, it's really quite safe, doesn't give me a lot of faith in what you're doing.
But do you know how many times I've wanted to throw you off of something and you be safe?
I smack him upside the head.
I mean, I've never had any ill intent towards you, but sometimes I've just wanted to toss you.
Oh, come on, Bella. I think you should give it your best shot.
Be a team player.
Break a leg,
It
as they
sounds
say.
to me like Clydus also wants to throw me off a train.
Oh no, I'm fine with letting Finn do that.
Oh no, he's gonna tame the lion.
All right, I'll do it.
Perfect. So you'll get thrown off the train, you'll tame the lion, everything's good to go.
Sounds good to me.
And so we will then flash cut back to the present day, where Ringling has just stepped out onto the center platform there, walking through the ring. He is being surrounded by a couple of people bearing colorful flags that are flapping in the wind that the train is trailing behind them. And much fanfare, a carpet is being rolled out as they get to the front of the train car, in front of the bleachers. A couple of acrobats split off and start doing cartwheels and then jumping onto the other train. Meanwhile, from the top of the performance train, a couple of steel pushers coin shots start to jump off of the train, doing various somersaults and acrobatics over the top of the crowd, and just generally really ramping everybody up as Ringling gets to the center of the train car. And finally, after a couple more performances with some of the acrobats and gymnasts tumbling over to the far side of the train, so that way there are cast members spread throughout, Ringling steps up on top of the train and tries his best to shout against the noise. Welcome to Ringling's fantastic circus and allomantic feats, the world's first circus to be performed on a train! And there's some general applause. You can tell that there's some people who just can't hear him because of all of the noise. But the crowd seems very excited. From what you can tell from inside of the train car, you don't have the best view. But everybody seems to be very excited, very happy to be experiencing the ridiculous concept that is the circus on a train. And Ringling then introduces Bella and Finn and the rest of the crew as the first act, and some of the gymnasts come over towards the center of the train car, and a couple of people walk out in front of you, bigger, stronger looking guys in like the leotards with the mustache, like that beach strongman type outfit is exactly what they're wearing as they walk out in front of you.
Can I improvise a little bit?
Absolutely.
I would also like to lift both of the strongmen.
Okay, do you want to give me a physique roll, or do you want to spend some dice?
I'm spending some dice.
Or, I mean, some charges.
I'm spending some charges.
Okay, to lift these two guys, I'm going to say that's only 20 charges.
Okay.
Yeah, so they step out in front of you, and they're giving their best macho tough guy slow walk, and you peek out behind them, and just as they get to the front of the first set of bleachers that are split in half, allowing that pathway access, you scoop both of them up, one underneath each arm, and raise them both above your head into the air as you continue walking out towards the center platform. And Zach, what does Finnigan's clown outfit look like?
So Finnigan's clown outfit, I'd imagine it looks really baggy. Kind of like his clothing in general. Like he's got suspenders pants that are too big, suspenders that look like they're just barely hanging him on himself, and a shirt that probably looks like a large T-shirt on a child, with like a silly hat and wig or something along those lines.
Okay, perfect. I love it. So yeah, you come out and you scoop them up, and then behind you, a stream of young women walk out in what looks to be like stylized mist cloaks. You can tell that it's been stripped of any sort of functionality and is purely an aesthetic thing to be dramatic. And Bella, you have been given a similar outfit where it's got like an iron, I want to say chassis. I don't know if there's a better word for it, but a structure that provides like support, so that way you can be manipulated by allomancers without it being too harsh on your body. Along with this like very sparse miscloak type outfit, where it's got the tassels, but those tassels wouldn't really do much good actually distracting or covering your body movements if you were in that sort of position.
Nice.
Bella and Finn, go ahead and give me a wits roll.
That is 2s and a nudge for me.
Nothing and 2 nudges.
Okay, with 2s and a nudge, Finn, you can see the very back of the train that you guys are catching up with ahead of you here. And so if we were to say, like about right here, you can see that, and you can see on the very back of the train, there is the Irvine family logo on that train car.
Do I have, is Clydus somewhere nearby?
No, you are out on the actual deck.
Okay, I was hoping to find some way to signal to somebody that it's the back of the train.
So you guys walk out, and you head towards the center platform, where you have been instructed to stand, we'll say up towards the front here. And each of the strongmen pairs up with one of the women, one on each of the cars, and there is a couple more minutes of tumbling and stuff until Ringling raises his hand, and that's your cue to go ahead and pick Bella up and do your best to launch her up and out of the train.
Physique roll time?
Physique roll time. How many dice are you going to spend to make sure Bella does this safely?
0 dice. This is where Bella dies.
I mean, I was gonna use all of my dice for it. I'm gonna go ahead and...
That's unwise. Just don't use any of them. Just don't do it.
Let her die.
Well, I was gonna say I'm using all 6. I wasn't sure if I was gonna use any charges because of how light she is. But for safety's sake, I think I'm gonna go ahead and do another 20 charges.
Perfect. Go ahead and roll 8 dice for me.
Real quick idea here. Could you aim to launch her onto the other train?
Not at the point where this train is right now.
I think we're too far away from it. I can just barely see it.
Oh, okay. I thought he'd adjusted
Just yeet her with all your might.
No, I moved it back so that way I didn't lose the things that I was trying to move with it, and it didn't quite work.
And we've got 5s and a nudge.
Okay, yeah. So as soon as Ringling raises his hand, you pick Bella up and get ready to throw her. And he drops his hand, and in completely synchronous with the other 2 strongmen on each car, you launch Bella into the air. And Bella, you can tell, because you have an eye for these things, you know when you're doing better than other people. You launch farther up and in a higher arc than any of the other performers on the train. Go ahead and give me another wits roll, and this time add 1.
Alrighty.
Am I doing the wits as well?
No, I think you're too pleased with yourself, knowing Finn.
That was ones. I'm a little bit distracted by the fact that I'm flying through the air.
Yeah, just a little bit. So you also see that the Irvine logo is on the back car there. Let's go ahead and roll these allomancers and see if anybody dies.
Can I riot them or somebody?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Riot
Okay.
their sense of badassness.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, if you get, we'll make it a difficulty 3, and if you get that, they will get a free nudge, and anything above that, we will adjust accordingly.
Okie doke. Fives and a nudge.
Okay, yeah, with 5s and a nudge, I think everybody gets a 1 die boost. And we'll throw in that extra nudge as well. So this guy is going to re-roll. But don't worry, he was the guy who was not throwing you. Okay, yeah, everybody at least got 3s. 5s and 2 nudges was my first roll, and I said my first roll was Bella. So, once again, you know when you are doing better than everybody. You get launched in this high, wide arc as the train passes beneath you, and just as you get behind the audience, you see the lurcher who you knew was stationed there to catch you, and you go flying back in. Would you like to do any flourishes or anything to try and excite the crowd as you come back in, or is Bella just along for the ride?
I think she's probably just along for the ride. This is not her usual cup of tea, so she's probably just trying not to scream.
Oh, and I did forget to ask. This Miss Cloak is on top of your other outfit, so what does Bella's clown outfit look like?
It's got very, like, Harley Quinn vibes.
Ooh, that's
like,
perfect
yeah.
for the Miss Cloak, too.
Yeah, probably like the same sort of kind of two-toned cat suit-ish. There might be a little skirt over top of it just for, Edwardian propriety's sake. But otherwise, yeah, that's probably generally what it looks like. Maybe some little symbols like as you would find on a deck of cards.
Perfect. Yeah, that's really cool. I imagine like similar face paint too then? Like a diamond over one eye or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Excellent. So yeah, does Bella go out for another toss, or does she fulfill her contractual obligation and come back in?
She's coming back in. She's done.
Fair enough. How about Finn? Is he staying out there to, because there'll be somebody else out there to continue to get tossed if you were going to stay out there for longer?
As much fun as Finnigan is having, he's got a job to do, and he's got the keys. So,
all right, yeah. So, you two in the spot closest to, well, I mean, Bella's already basically made her exit. But it kind of like goes in a chain where the front performer throws off the lady that he's been paired with, and she gets pulled back in and then caught by the person behind him. And the other two strongmen start to move in and continue to do this like sort of pass thing. So Zach, why don't you go ahead and give me one more physique roll to try and catch your performer?
oh, why don't I? It's not Bella, so I'm just gonna do a straight 6.
Just an NPC. Who cares if they die?
3s and a nudge.
Yeah, with 3s and a nudge, she comes in and you are able to just like put a hand out as she starts to fly in and grab her out, and you make your way back towards the staging car with her. The next act to go up is the acrobats and the trapeze artists. And so the strongmen head back out, this time carrying the trapeze poles. Like you wanted the strong guys to hold it, or you said lurchers?
The lurchers. I want the poles to just be held in by Allomancy.
A couple of coin shots and lurchers walk out carrying these poles, and then they kind of use them to vault around and then like throw them down and balance on top of them as they push the pole into the ground, kind of demonstrating the finesse that they've been able to develop where they can smack that pole perpendicular to the ground and then balance on top of it. And they do that for a couple of minutes before putting like attaching the poles together, and then they all step off to the side to stabilize it as the trapeze artists come out and finish assembling this trapeze portion and begin to perform there. At that point, the trains have kind of caught up because you have arranged for the train driver to drive faster to catch up with the train and then try and keep the trains parallel. So I will say it's probably looking about here. And everybody can give me a wits roll as they're looking at the train.
All right, pull this up real quick.
Will I get any bonuses for having worked in the freight harbor, freight area?
I think I will give you a nudge bonus for that.
Okay.
I got 5s.
I got 2s.
I got 3s and the nudge you gave me.
Okay, the difficulty was 1, 2, 3, 4. And so Clydus can see everything. Bella, you can see up to there. These back 3 cars are Irvine cars, and then Clydus, you notice that this one up front has the symbol for the Wild House on it.
I don't know what that means. It's been too long.
My brother.
Oh.
My stupid brother.
Right.
No, but what are you
Well, we
doing?
can steal from him too while we're at it.
Yes. Steal from my own family.
I mean, we did burn your own family's house down, so to speak.
I mean, it wasn't his yet.
True. It was a wedding gift. Have a burnt house.
Thanks for inviting me to your shitty engagement party.
You can now be a member of the roasted estates.
The well-roasted estates.
Oh yeah, that one was definitely well roasted.
All right, well, if I get the chance, I'll pass on the information.
You do know from the information that you've been able to collect that you did not expect this car to be on the train.
Okay.
Do you think they might be hiding the valuable stuff in that one to throw people off the scent?
So are we caught up enough to have people start trying to get across?
You could try to from there, but it is more dangerous to be seen by somebody jumping across.
Yeah, that makes sense. But as we catch up more, it'll be easier, right?
Yeah. Towards the end of the act, it'll get easier.
Okay.
I will say that there are, and you wanted to go pretty early too, Clydus, right?
Yeah.
So you will probably be up next after the trapeze artists get done.
Can we have them also, like, while the trapeze artists are doing their thing, instead of just keeping the poles straight, they'll start to, like, weave them in and out so that the trapeze artists are doing these really complicated patterns as their poles aren't staying stuck to the ground as they're being pushed through and spun through the air.
I'd imagine they go in and out of over the side of the train with the poles too.
Kind of like the polecats in Mad Max.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Sorry.
Yeah, the guys on the little
one.
like bendy pole. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they're
the
like
one I thought
basically
of.
vaulting onto. Yeah, that definitely makes a lot of sense. I think that as the act goes on, it starts to get more complex. The poles at first start to bend one way, and so it's at a slant, and then they bend the other way, and then at one point, as the trapeze artist is in the air, the people who are manipulating the poles switch places, like send one pole to the other side, and so that they're landing on the same pole that they just launched from. And let me do some rolls for these Alamancers to see how fancy they can get. Because then you might also get the added distraction of, you can try and get over there because they're doing such a great job. Okay, you don't all have to roll 5s.
Yes.
Okay, so to the point where, the poles then move off of the train and they're doing the same performance directly parallel to the train over the landscape that's running by. And then at one point it lifts up into the air, and so they're performing above the train. And towards the end of the act, they are holding this trapeze in place on top of the other train car. So it's just they have really gone wild with this premise and have been practicing since you told them about it. And so this trapeze set is just moving all over and spinning and doing all of these insane things while these trapeze artists are still performing on them.
Nice. I just had an idea for the end of the clown melee to help give us more cover for being over there. Could we send like all of our clowns to the neighboring train with like business cards, leaflets for the circus, and then just spread them all over.
Yeah, I think that's a really fun element. We can definitely incorporate that in.
And then we can also use that as cover to try and like get in position.
So with the acrobats doing as well as they are, I think Finnigan would look for an opportunity to get to that first train car.
Yeah, you definitely have the opportunity and the spectacle to hide you while you're making this attempt. You also have the Allomancers that you hired. So, like, if you wanted to try and get the coin shots to, like, try and make their way onto the train early, too, or something, that is something that you guys could do as well.
Do we have coin shots? Oh, we do. We have one.
One coin shot, one lurcher, and 2 pewter arms. And 1 smoker. So, Finn, you kind of slide open the side door in the staging car. And you can see the very back of the train here from where the door is. I will go ahead and say that the door is like here in the car. And so it's about in the same place in the center of the other car. And so you could jump over and grab on and try and get over there. But you're not quite lined up to where you could like try and like lean over and balance and grab the lock while still being in your same car.
Out of curiosity, does Bella still have the iron vest?
I would say that she has gotten the chance to take it off at least. But she knows exactly where it is.
Would I be able to put it on?
Let me take a look at how well you guys put your characters together. Bella is
I was gonna say
Bella is 5'8". Finn is 6 foot. I mean, it's like a full like chassis, like all the way around. I don't think hers will work.
Okay.
I was gonna say if we can get the lurcher over there, the lurcher we could.
Well, that was what I was thinking. Was I could put the iron vest on, and then have the lurcher pull me back once I've got the door open.
Oh, I was thinking having the lurcher go to the other train and then help people like the pewter arms get on board.
Yeah, I can definitely. So you're gonna have him try and get on from the heist train?
Yep.
The heist car?
Yeah, and since he's the lurcher, he can pull himself to the train, right?
Yep, as long as he rolls well enough. Okay, not everybody has to roll 5s. That lurcher is on the top of the train at the moment.
Sweet. Do we have some metal stuff that we can give, like the pewter arms, and the lurcher can pull them in?
I am not sure what you might have that could accomplish that.
What if I just hold on to the iron vest and he pulls me by my arms?
Yeah, I think that would work. I would add another roll into that. It wouldn't be like with Bella getting thrown off where you'd have to hold on with your physique.
Yeah, I think I can manage that.
And then it's also up to Bella if she wanted to take it off or if she wanted to keep it on for the duration.
Nah, she's good. It's off.
Yeah, so go ahead and... So, like, what is it that you're trying to accomplish right now, Finn? Because the door will be on the outside where the lock is. So you'll have to find some way to try and get that key. And I'm not sure, unless you're trying to get on the roof for right now.
I mean, for now, I'm just trying to get to the car. Because
I don't think that the gap between them is necessarily so large that you'd want to encumber yourself holding on to something instead of grabbing onto the actual train car when you jump.
Okay, that works. I'll jump then.
Just from like, because then you have the problem of you're still holding on to this thing.
Yep,
I
works.
There was a bigger gap.
I would say it's like maybe a 4-foot gap, 5-foot gap at most.
I mean, if it was still large enough, I would have. The idea was the lurcher pulls me over, I toss off the iron, and then climb down to the door, open it, and then jump back across when it's closer.
I mean, if you want to get rid of the property of Ringling Circus, that's fine, but I wouldn't want to mess with a force that can convince Beladora to get thrown off a train.
That's fair enough. Okay. Jumping.
Oh yeah, go ahead and give me a physique roll, and I'm going to give you +1 for working closely with these trains and getting to know where areas might be that you can grab onto.
That's 5s and a nudge.
Okay, not everybody has to roll 5s. So you make a leap, and you are actually able to use the extra momentum of the car. You do a little bit of a running jump. And so you spring forward and manage to grab on right near the lock of the door, and you won't have to maneuver much to get over there.
Okay, I'm going to move to attempt to unlock the door.
Go ahead and give me a physique roll. I'm going to keep it net neutral since you know the trick for getting these to work. You have the key for it, but you are hanging onto the side of a moving train.
Fair enough.
I was gonna see if I could riot his sense of badassness to help him out.
I've already rolled, and it's 4s and 2 nudges.
All right.
I mean,
you don't need me.
Yeah, 4s and 2 nudges. You are able to get that lock off, and you are able to catch that lock at just the last second once it springs off before it falls to the ground and rolls away with the train. So you now have the lock in your hand. In one hand, it's still got the key in it, and the door is unlocked but not unlatched.
I think I'll get the Lurcher to help me with that.
What are you having the Lurcher do?
Help me unlatch the door so I don't have to be holding on to the lock and also trying to hold myself up.
Okay. I think it's going to be a little more difficult for him to try it with just his... Or are you saying have him climb down? Probably is what you're thinking.
Yeah.
That's the step that I'm missing. Mr. Run the World Imaginary DM, great job there. And we'll say that we are getting towards the end. Oops, that's not the tool I want. The end of the act, and so the train has moved just a little bit closer. He is going to climb down to try and help you, and Clydus, it's about time for you to start moving forward. The lion is released from the cage in the back of the car with a muzzle still on it, and is being brought forward by 2 animal handlers behind you as they line up to go.
Okay. And Clydus makes a very exaggerated miming as if he's sneaking up behind the lion. And
Okay, so you're gonna have the lion.
Yeah, the lion's gonna go first, and he's going to be sneaking up behind it, and then putting the finger to lips the shushing motion exaggeratedly to the crowd to make oh, don't let him know that I'm here.
I'm gonna make this a charm roll.
All right. Pull up my character. Is that 4? Yes.
4. Go ahead and add 1 for the deceptively efficient, deceptively lackadaisical. That one has triggered more times than I thought it would.
No. I only got 2 nudges, so I'm going to spend those to reroll. Nothing.
Okay, so as you start to do this little sneaking thing, the lion stops and it turns around and it looks at you and it kind of cocks its head. And the entire crowd laughs, but you can tell that they're more enamored with the lion than they are with you.
And Clydus just gives a big exaggerated shrug. And then, are we to the center or we're still on the way?
I think he probably stopped right at the end of this car before getting to the center. And then that's when they coached him over the... There's a ramp of some sort, so it's not just bare space. But they still have to kind of coach him over before they get him on top of the center elevated plinth and hand you a whip and a chair and take the muzzle off of the lion.
I'm gonna say that when the right as the lion stops, before they finish getting him on, Clydus is gonna do the exaggerated shrug, and he's gonna take off his clown cowboy hat, try and frisbee it into the center of the ring, and then do cartwheels over to catch it before it lands.
Which reminds me, Clydus, describe your clown outfit.
So I'm thinking like Bozo the Clown, but with a like parody of a cowboy outfit. So he's got the big red nose, the big like red painted on smile, the white face makeup. He's got these big honking red shoes, but they're styled like cowboy boots. So they're cowboy boots just with really lengthened, feet. And he's got like, the suspenders like overalls like a farmhand worker would have. But it's all like blue and white stripes instead of, flannel. And then he's got this big brimmed hat, which kind of looks like a Stetson cowboy hat, except it's got one of those big, like, clown-looking flowers in the middle that squirts out water kind of thing. And I'll
So it looks like more like an old woman's sun hat than like a Stetson hat with the big flower in the center.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh, beautiful. I love it. Really quick, before you continue with your performance, okay, the audience did not roll 5s to notice, so you guys are lucky there. Finn, as the coin shot starts to try and come down to help you, you see him slip and starts to fall towards the bottom of the train, but at the last moment, he is able to lurch himself back up and up onto the roof of the train. And so he was not able to come down and help you yet because he almost took a tumble.
Okay. Someone finally didn't roll 5s.
Yeah. No, he failed that first roll, but he did not fail the one to catch himself with Allomancy.
Hey! Small blessings. Then I'm going to, while I'm still latched on, I'm going to at least take the key out of the lock, if I am able to do so, and tuck it back into a safe spot.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you do that without any roll or anything.
Okay. And then I'm going to try to hopefully with my arm still like hooked on a ladder or something, try to reach over and grab that latch to loosen it.
Yeah, go ahead and give me a physique roll. I am going to take -1 this time because you're also holding on to the lock.
Yep. That is 4s and nudge.
Yeah, with 4s and nudge, door opens. Finn unlatches it pretty efficiently and opens this door up. It is one of these sliding doors, and so you're going to have to kind of like slide yourself with the door to open it. But I'm not going to make you roll for that. We will go ahead and jump back to Clydus since we're kind of running low on time for this episode. Clydus, what would you like to do for your lion act?
So the first thing that he's going to do is he's going to... let me ask this. How tame is the lion? Is he one of those that knows he's part of the act, or is he wild and I actually have to, like, get him in line before he'll do anything?
Go ahead and give me a spirit roll.
All right. What is that, 2? Okay.
2.
Oh, I got 3s.
With 3s, he is probably middle of the road. He is not a perfectly docile beast. Like, the Ringling did tell you not to put your head in this lion's mouth. But he does understand at a certain level that he is part of a show. He has not been treated viciously or cruelly. And they put the muzzle on him as they walk him out more as a favor to the audience than because it's necessary.
Okay. Then, do I know any signals for him? Because what I'm thinking is, like, some kind of signal to get him to know, okay, roar, make a big demonstration, and then he's gonna try and, like, do the usual whip thing, not actually hit the lion, but whip the ground in front of him, and make it look like he has to be tamed.
So I will play it this way. You can choose to go about it either by trying to rely on its previous training and rely on tips that you've been given for the show, or if you want to go with Clydus's natural affinity for animals to put on a show, I will use a different stat for that. But depending on which approach you use will be determine which stat that I'd use.
I'm gonna go with Clydus's.
I'm trying to make that so obvious. Okay, so I'm gonna make that a charm roll, and I'm going to give you +1 for the where is that written down on your character?
Wrangler.
For the Wrangler stunt. So give me a roll of 5 dice.
Sweet. Ooh, only got ones.
So with ones, you are able to put on, I'll still let you describe what you'd like to, but it's not a very thrilling show, because as much as you're trying to, like, get into a rhythm with it in the way that you kind of are with some of your horses and that kind of bond you made with Fella, you are not able to do a similar thing here, and so at the end of the day, the performance is still just kind of low energy.
Okay, I'm gonna say that Clydus tries to signal to him to roar, but the lion just cocks his head at him like he has no idea what's going on, and then he like starts to kind of get it, and he puts out like a half-hearted growl, and then Clydus makes this big show of doing the whip, and the lion just looks bored and kind of just sits down and scratches itself.
Yeah, so your entire relationship with this lion from start to finish is just antagonistic. This lion understands that it's part of a show enough to understand that you are not its usual master. So Clydus is absolutely going to have to get another gym badge before this Pokemon will listen to him. He's just, like you said, all around disinterested and antagonistic. You try and use some of the cues that you were given after you've tried to get the show going by instinct, and then he kind of can tell that you're uncertain now at this point, and so he does the opposite of what you want him to do. Like, you make a great show of trying to get him to roll over, and he stands up and scratches himself again. You pull out a ring and you try and get him to jump through it, and then he just like grabs the ring in his teeth and kind of tries to play tug of war with you. It's not a terribly uninteresting show. There's still some humor value out of it, but it's not the kind of thriller-focused performance that people are usually expecting from the Lion Tamer.
Womp womp.
I think at this point the back car has aligned with the heist car, but we are running probably out of time, so unless anybody has something that they really want to get done this week, I think we will call it an episode there.
Hey,
Another door defeated.
3
to go. 1 down, 3 to go.
All right, well, thank you guys so much for listening. This is a lot of fun. I love this circus on a train concept. It's been a lot of fun to execute, and I hope it's just as much fun to listen to. And we will be back again in 2 weeks' time to keep this train a-rolling.
Bye.
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 Mistborn and all related properties are owned by Brandon Sanderson and Dragonsteel Entertainment. The Mistborn adventure game is a product of Crafty Games. Special thanks to Steve Argyle for letting us use his artwork for the logo, and to Boardroom Design for putting the logo together for us. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter at LLOS Podcast, or give us an email at lostlegendsofscadrial@gmail.com. We hope that you'll like and share and give us a review on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time.
So can we name this episode Throw Bella Off the Train?
Cue Always Sunny in Philadelphia title card. The episode where Bella gets thrown off a train.
Oh no, I was thinking of a play on Throw Mama Off the Train, which also coincidentally stars Danny DeVito.